What's up guys, this is Sensei. Today's video, I'm going to show you how I pushed my max to 1000 trophies in solo showdown. We're going to be going over some replays and some tips so that you can push your max high in showdown as well. Alright, let's go over some basic stats. Max has a very decent amount of health, about similar to Shelly at 4900. Her movement speed is very fast, which allows her to go across the map very quickly and to escape from dicey situations. She has a lot of burst damage with 4 ammo slots. Doing quick burst damage allows her to win a lot of 1v1 interactions and to pressure brawlers very effectively. Her super allows her to boost her movement speed even more for 4 seconds, which can allow you to catch up to a brawler on offense and escape from a brawler on defense. So now let's talk about the star power to use. The star power that I would recommend for Max is her second star power, Run and Gun. This allows Max to have a faster reload speed while she's moving, and when you use her super, it increases her reload speed even more. This allows Max to open boxes a lot more quickly and to get the advantage in one-to-one interactions a lot more reliably because of that extra ammo that she has. Now her first star power, while it can be useful, I just think that the second star power provides a lot more value. So let's go over the maps that I pushed Max on. The first map that I pushed Max on is Core Crumble. This map has the robot modifier, and Max does do a lot of DPS, especially with that run and gun star power, so she can take care of the boss no problem. I would say this was the second easiest map for me to push Max on. Okay, for the second map, this is where I push Max to 900 trophies, would be Treasure Hunt. I would say this one was the most difficult. Did have a lot of struggles and a lot of frustration, but yeah, definitely the hardest map for me to push Max on. And finally, the map which I pushed Max to 1k on, Point of View. This has the energy drink modifier. This was by far the easiest map for me to push Max on. Like, the amount of progress I made was so much compared to Treasure Hunt, so I would highly recommend this map if you want to push Max. Anyway, let's hop right into the replays. Alright, our first replay will be a match from Core Crumble with the robot modifier. The first thing you want to do is go straight for the boxes and get some power cubes. So that's exactly what I do. The reason why you see me spinning is to utilize Max's star power. Spinning does count as movement, and so it's kind of useful to do that so you can get your shots back up quickly. Very important thing when you're using Max's second star power is whenever you're shooting ammo, it's important to constantly be moving so you can get the most value out of that star power. So I start checking the bushes just to make sure that no one's there. You never really know. I see the Max up there in the bull spinning, so I spin so that they don't come after me. And the robot ends up going after me. But of course, Max does a lot of DPS, and with that run and gun star power, as you can see, we're melting the robot very quickly. Another cool trick you can do is go into the poison and have the robot follow you into the poison, because the robot will also take damage from the poison as well. So that's just 1000 DPS for free to help you take out the robot. And as you can see, 5 power cubes now, off to a very good start. But when you're checking bushes, you want to be really thorough. I can't tell you how many times where I've checked a bush, like 3 or 4 times. I thought it was safe, went inside and got smacked by a Shelly. So just make sure you're very thorough when you're checking bushes so you don't get a very low ranking early on. We get the boss robot coming after us again. And the key when you're taking aggro of the boss, or when you're deciding whether to, is make sure that you know the area you're going to take it to. Okay, if you're unfamiliar with where you're taking the boss to, there might be a brawler waiting for you in ambush. So you always want to be careful here. This Nita being way too aggro, really don't know what she was doing, but I'll take the freak power cubes. Because if you take the boss to a crowded area with a lot of brawlers, or you take it to a place you don't know where there might be brawlers, you'll just end up getting ambushed from all sides, and you'll just get a low ranking. So try not to take aggro of the boss unless you know that you can take it out in an area where there's not going to be many people. The boss taking aggro, I really don't want it because we're in such a compact space. Using my super to get the boss off of me, very good play from me. And now, just to ensure that the boss doesn't follow me, I sneak into the poison a bit, and then I just finish off this max for the easy dub. Alright, now let's move into the next replay. Okay, for the next replay, we are going to be in Treasure Hunt now. Will be my push from 800 to 900, or 850 to 900, I don't really quite remember. Crow is a 50-50 matchup, so I really don't want to mess with him, and he shouldn't want to mess with me, but a lot of times crows do try to mess with you, and you can punish them if they try to do that. Poking at that, Max fortunately cannot get that power cube. And also a neat trick you can do is if you have a box in the corners of the map, you can, and you don't think anyone's going to come get them, you can go inside, get the boxes on the inside before anyone else does, and then retreat and go back and get those boxes that you saved. A very effective way to secure some power cubes. As you can see, this crow, as you can see, we are beating down on the crow, right? We clearly have the advantage over the crow, so I think the crow starts to smart up and realize that it's probably not wise to go after me, since I can probably beat him if he gets too close. So now we're just going into the bush and just chilling. Unfortunately, this bee pokes at me, which puts me in kind of a bad spot because it kind of reveals where I am. This crow, again, being too aggro, and now he gets trapped between me and the other Max. This Max going way too aggressive, and check out this play. Very clutch play for me. Using my speed boost, this Max just spamming auto-aim. Yeah, key thing with Max is try not to spam. Unless you're super close range, don't spam auto-aim because you're going to miss. And that's exactly what happened. He was spamming auto-aim, and because I was using my super, he kept missing. Max's attack is similar to Colt's, except it's a lot more close range. So you want to aim it like Colt's. You want to aim it where you think the brawler is going to go, and then try to follow their movement, if that makes sense. If you just auto-aim and they're far away and they're a fast brawler, then, well, you're going to miss. You're going to either undercut them. You're going to undercut them most of the time, so when you're using Max at range, always manually aim so you can try to get the most of your shot. As you can see, it's showdown between me and the bee, and I know that I have more HP than the bee, so all I really have to do is just stand behind the center wall and just play Ring Around the Rosie until the poison comes and she dies from it, because she has less HP than me. So when you're in this situation and you have more HP than your opponent, never go after them. Just wait, be patient for the poison to come, and get the easy dub when they die before you do, because they have less HP. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people that have more HP try to go around and kill me and get punished for it. Never do that. Play it patient. You're going for 1k. Take the easy dubs when you can. Don't risk taking an L. Anyways, let's move on to the third replay. Okay, for this third replay, we're spawning in the bottom right. Again, going for the easy boxes, the box that's right here. And then proceeding to go forward to get some more boxes. We have 2 boxes right here. I snagged them easily. And off to a pretty decent start. You know, we got 3 boxes at the beginning, so I'm looking pretty happy about our situation. And again, we just chill in the bush, waiting to punish anyone that goes after those boxes. That's also key. Going mid immediately isn't always the best idea, because as you can see, just a large influx of brawlers just come straight to the mid, and if you're in the middle, you tend to get caught up in the crossfire. So that's one thing to keep in mind. This Mortis, doing pretty decently, dodging my shots. We were able to finish the kill there. And this Duro poking at me, he has more power cubes than me, so I can't really afford to mess with him, so I do the smart thing and retreat. And right now we're just chilling in the bush and waiting for an opportunity to come. And this Duro goes way too aggro against Anita. He tries to retreat, but we're not going to let him. And as you can see, taking advantage of that Duro being too aggro, taking out that Nita bear, and yeah, we were able to successfully get the kill and run away with the cubes relatively unscathed, which is always a plus. I see this crow. I don't really like crows. Crows can be very annoying, so I just go after him. If I leave him be, he'll more than likely be a problem with his invisibility and whatnot. So decided to take him out now. When you have the opportunity to take out problematic brawlers, and again, also that Bull being way too aggro again, really don't know what he was doing. But yeah, I'm going to go over some matchups, and if you ever see the opportunity to go after a problematic matchup, do it. Alright, it's better to take them out when you can and then wait till the end game and have to deal with them and risk losing, right? So, if it's a problematic brawler for you, such as like a Spike or a Leon, brawlers like that, take them out when you can, so that they don't cause a headache for you in the end game. See, because now all the problematic brawlers are gone. We have an easy end game, right? We have all the power cubes. We don't have to worry about a Shelly blasting us in the face, right? This will be pretty easy as long as we don't make a dumb mistake. And yeah, using my super to boost up that reload speed. Anyway, let's head into the next replay. Okay, for our fourth replay, we will be in Point of View. This is the map that I pushed max to 1k on, and all of these replays will be 900 plus, so very high. As you can see, going for that box straight off the bat. Going for the box in the middle, being wary of that Spike. That Spike wastes 2 shots, so I immediately going after her. That is very helpful if you're on a matchup like Spike, which is one of the 50-50 matchups that I described earlier. If they ever waste their shots like that, then just go after them. Getting that energy drink, lucky to get that energy drink early on. Going after that Shelly rather than the Daryl, because the Daryl is going around the wall, it would have been a lot more of a hassle, whereas that Shelly was in a straight line where I can just shoot her and get the easy kill. So recognizing that and going after the kill that would be most easiest for me can be very helpful. The reason why Max is so good on this map is because of her speed. Her speed allows her to get away from brawlers with energy drink fairly quickly, unless they're like a Mortis or something like that. Because of that speed, brawlers with energy drink are going to have a difficult time coming after me, and because of that, they're more likely to go after another brawler because they're like, it's not worth my time going around in circles with this Max. Especially when Max gets her super, she can get away from pretty much any brawler with energy drink, so always useful to keep that in mind. This Crow coming, and so I back away, and he just walks right into a bush like an idiot, so I really don't know what was going on with him there. Also, another thing that I've noticed about this map is that it's pretty competitive. Like, you know, this is probably the most fellow 900 plus people I've seen ever, right? I was a game I had where there was 2 people at 1200 trophies in my game. There's times where I had like 4 900 people in my game, so this is pretty competitive. It's usually not like this, so I just wanted to point that out. Getting the energy drink again, killing the Spike, because the Spike would be most problematic for me, and finishing off the game with the first place. Let's move on to the next replay. Okay, as we get into this final match, to where I push to 1k, I would just like to go over some matchups, just so you can be aware of brawlers that it's okay to go against and brawlers that you kind of want to avoid. Brawlers that are good for Max to go against would be Shelly and tanks, and the reason why is because you have range advantage and can do a lot of burst damage, so you can kind of literally just chase them down and they really can't do anything, because as long as they don't get close to you, they're not really a threat. Next, that would be good, is brawlers that don't have a lot of burst damage, or brawlers that don't do a lot of damage in general. These are brawlers like Nita, Jesse, Poco. Max, you can literally just run up to them and dish out your burst damage, and they really won't be able to combat that. Brawlers that I would say are 50-50. I would say brawlers like Leon, Spike, Crow, Terra, Rico, Colt, and I would say 8-Bit. And the reason why I would say these are 50-50 is because in the right circumstance, you could get the best of them, but also in the right circumstance, they could get the best of you. And so I would generally avoid it unless they make a mistake and you can capitalize on it. Like if they're weak, or if they waste an ammo shot, or if they're missing their shots, that's when you can capitalize on that. Brawlers to avoid, B. For sure, B. B, you never know if a B has honeycomb or not, and if she does, you're kind of screwed. Plus, if it's an open map, they have range. Also, Brock, I would say avoid Brock for the same reason, because Brock, especially if he has rocket number 4, that burst damage is kind of crazy, and you really can't. That's like instant it's not like you shoot like 4 shots. That's 1 shot, so that burst damage is going to be kind of crazy. Piper is just weak in general. I mean, if it's from a range, I would say avoid Piper, but like if you can get up close, then that's perfectly fine for you. But yeah, and as I said before, just because the matchup is 50-50 doesn't mean you should go after them. I would say in general, avoid 50-50 matchups unless you can get the best of them, or you see a situation where you can get the best of them. But anyway, that'll do it. That's all I have for you guys. Here's just a little clip of me getting 1K, and here's a screenshot of me getting 1K. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed it, I would appreciate it if you gave me a like and maybe consider subscribing if you want more 1K brawlers from solo game modes. Right now, Showdown is the only game mode, but I do cover Takedown when it is out. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for sticking out the whole video, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.